All right, guys, so I've printed out all the worksheets here so I can kind of go over each one separately. I'm actually going to I'm going to separate these videos into 3 parts so that way I can explain each part so it makes sense to you guys. It's really simple. Please try not to overcomplicate this, guys. I've spent a lot of hours building this stuff up from just experience from working with clients in the past and what I've seen work, what doesn't work. So just follow the process, because if you can get an idea, I mean, this is kind of like you're trying to build the foundation and knowledge on how to prep a healthy meal in a way that's easy, where it's not like we don't have to like worry about, oh man, I don't know how many carbs I need to eat, right? If you stick to these concepts, right, that I show here, you're going to be better off, especially if you're just starting off and you want to learn about how to prepare your meal, how to eat a healthy meal, and so that way you can lose weight and feel better, reach your goals. Okay, so again, you don't have to print out all the sheets. However, you do have to print out the 30-day keto challenge sheet, the first worksheet. That is your first challenge. Print this out, get a pen, because you're going to be writing down the stuff that you're going to be eating. You're going to be prepping ahead of time. All right. The good thing about prepping ahead of time, guys, is so that you know where you're going to be eating on which day. Okay. Because a lot of time, the reason why people mess up on their diets is because they don't prep ahead of time. Okay. They just kind of like, I don't know what to eat. And so they will just pick some random food or something that throws them off their diet. Okay, but doing it this way, and I'm going to explain it in very simple and easy steps on how to pick what food. I've given you all the list of foods, which are all here, and we'll go into that. But I want to go over your actual worksheet that you're going to be using. Take this, put it on your fridge. Keep it somewhere where you're going to be seeing it all the time. Okay, take a picture of it, save it in your phone, stuff like that, so that way you know exactly what to do on which day, and you know how to track your days. Okay, this is meal planning, right? And it's in its very basic form. Okay, so let's go over all the meals. Basically, you've got 2 full meals. So if you want to do breakfast, that's meal 1. If you want to do dinner, meal 2. Some of you guys don't eat breakfast or don't feel like eating breakfast. That's fine. You can use your snack as a breakfast, whatever it is. And then your first meal can be lunch and then dinner. So you can switch this up however you want. That'll depend on you, and it'll depend on your schedule and right, and your time. Okay, so you've got 2 meals, 2 snacks. Okay, so let's move on to what exactly to pick for each meal. Okay, now I've put little pink letters next to each item. So if we just go over here real quick so I can show you, each item has a pink letter next to it that is corresponded with fat, right? So if I show you basically which ones are carbs, which one of the food items are protein, right? So you get to pick one of those, just drop it in here, write it in here, what fat you want to eat from these 2 lists, what protein you want to eat and what carbs you want to eat, right? Very simple. So you do that for meal 2. You do snacks. So if you look here, your snacks should not have any carbs. However, when you first start off, I recommend that you actually include some carbs. Ideally, you want to stick with fruits for these. So if you're a beginner and you're just starting off on the keto diet, I do recommend that you keep your fruit consumption up a little bit high at first. But as you go through the challenge, you're going to start dropping it down as you go through, because you want your body to transition into keto, right? You don't want to just go cold turkey and just cut out sugar, cut out carbs altogether. The best way to transition is to start consuming fruits as a source of carb. Okay? So I know some of you are going to get those cravings. It's okay to snack on your favorite fruit. If you don't have a favorite fruit, it's time to find something that you like to. Everyone likes fruits, right? Find something that you like to snack on, and that'll be where you're going to be consuming at first. But again, eventually when we go on this challenge, you're going to minimize that to where for your snacks you're only going to be eating a fat item and a protein item. Okay, we're going to go over, yes, okay, makes sense? All right, so you're going to do that for day 1. You're going to pick out where you're going to eat from the list. Day 2, you're going to pick out everything that you're going to eat for day 2. You're going to pick out everything that you're going to eat for day 3, okay? So one of the biggest problem that people have with dieting is variety, right? However, I wanted to give you the list of variety of stuff to eat, as long as you're picking it from this list. I mean, there are a ton of items here. You can switch it up however you want. That's going to be tough. Okay, mind you, if you want variety, it's going to be tough because you're going to have to prepare a lot of different things. Me personally, I like to keep it simple and just eat the same thing every day. I know it gets boring, but for me, it works because it's easy to track and it's simple. But I know for a lot of you, you like variety. You like something different every day, and you can do that. Okay, so example, if you want to do breakfast, for some of you that do breakfast, you can go here. We'll look at what are some fats that we can do for breakfast. You can do some cheese. If you want to make some almond flour pancakes, or pick something like an avocado or some nuts for breakfast, right? You can throw that in there. And then protein, you can throw an egg in there. You can throw some salmon in it. Whatever it is that you want to do. Carbs, throw some fruits. Boom, that's your breakfast. Okay? Does that make sense? So you do that, you can change it up. Then the next day you can do something else. Let's see, find whatever it is that you can also pick from the yellow light, and we'll go over what the different zones mean, the different food district mean here in a little bit. But I wanted to show you, right? So that's what you're going to be doing with this worksheet. You're actually going to write it down. Okay. All right. So that's for day 1, day 2, day 3. You're going to write down all your meals, and day 4. We are going into intermittent fasting, okay? And so, intermittent fasting, let's see. So, as you can see here, you've got, so I don't count weeks. I don't track weeks on this challenge. I actually am gonna have you track cycles. So I call them cycles. So every time you go through day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, you're gonna actually cycle it back through to day 1 and start all the way back through again. Okay, but again, as you go through the cycles, you want to minimize the carbs. Okay, so I would recommend to go up until about the 3rd cycle and then start dropping your carbs off. So you can start building up to that. So eventually, once you get towards the end, you should not be consuming that much carb, and we'll go over portions later, but that's the whole idea, okay? Now, intermittent fasting, if you are a beginner to intermittent fasting, if you've never done this before, basically what it is that you pick a window during the day where you're not going to be eating. All you're going to be doing is drinking water, and what I've added is getting a little bit of sea salt in your system, 1 tablespoon a day. That way your body stays hydrated, okay? Because the goal here is to get up to 24-hour fast, but you don't want to just jump in and do a 24-hour fast all at once. You want to work your body up to that point. Okay, so if you're a beginner to intermittent fasting, start with 14 hours. If you feel like that's too much, start with 12 hours. And again, as you progress through the cycles, you're gonna bump up that hour, right? You're gonna go from 14 to 16 to 18 to 20, right? So forth, and progress towards so we're at the end, and you want to continue this even after the 30 days. You're doing a 24-hour fast once a week, pretty much. All right. I mean, it's pretty straightforward as far as this worksheet, guys. Please don't overcomplicate it. It's really that simple, okay? The key to weight loss is to put your body in a calorie deficit, and we will go over meal portioning later, but I want to just kind of go over that. I don't want to take up too much time. I don't want this video to go too long, but that is pretty much what this worksheet is about. Write it down, get your shopping list ready, write it down, and then go through it, okay? All right.